We might as well get started. It looks like there's a few of us here. Then as people sign in, they can kind of join on as we get going. But first of all, thank you for coming and joining our Market Math webinar today. Great chance to show you a little bit more about one of our new products. So those who don't know me, I'm Nikki. I'm part of the Kai's education team here in New Zealand. And we have the lovely Jen joining us today. She's one of our partnerships managers. So she's coming to join us and help answer a few questions and assist us today. So welcome everyone and welcome Jen.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I'm coming live from Buena Vista, Colorado, so here in the States.
So cool. So nice to have you here with us today. So today we are focusing on one of our latest products with KaiBot. So that is Market Math. This has been a very exciting project that the team have been sort of working on over the last wee while. I think some people may have seen it at ISTE. But yes, it's exciting to finally have it all ready for you guys for your start of the school year. So hopefully everyone can see the slideshow and everything as well, and we'll just sort of go through everything here with you. So first of all, what is Market Math? So Market Math is part of our KaiBot, so it's the perfect add-on for KaiBot. It is for your K-2 learners, and it's obviously got your focus on maths. It's the perfect hands-on learning. You've got the option of screen-free as well as adding a device with our Market Math app. You've also got kind of a focus of obviously coding, but as well as your math challenges along the way as well. So the whole idea of it is our little friend Marshie is going shopping for his friends, which are on the outside of the map, which I will show you shortly, and purchasing different things at the supermarket. So it's really focusing on those real world math challenges that they could imagine themselves doing, you know, in real life. It's sort of going shopping to buy whatever you need to make a cake or whatever it might need to be for your friends down the road and things. So it's a really fun activity. It's hands-on. It's really engaging. It's got the most amazing little karaoke song that it always has to start with. I know my son loves it, always wants to play it. So it's right from the beginning, it really hooks those students in, which is great. Perfect. So next, we're sort of going over a little bit more on the whole computational thinking of things, which I think Jen is probably the perfect person to go over this for you.
Yeah, I love to talk about computational thinking. And with KaiBot in general, computational thinking is one of the things that we focus on. So if you haven't ever seen the KaiBots, Nikki's going to do a demonstration of the Market Math, but the KaiBots as a standalone product use coding cards to teach coding. So you can either do it screen-free like you can with Market Math or using one of our apps. And throughout that, we are teaching computational thinking, but this is a great way to start at a very young age. So computational thinking, you may or may not know, is the mental process we use to solve problems like a computer scientist. And so the major components of it are decomposition. So taking a big problem and breaking it down into something smaller. Pattern recognition, so starting to see what repeats. Abstraction, which is definitely one that's a little more challenging for our students, but focusing on what's important and ignoring the rest. And then the last component is algorithms, which are creating step-by-step solutions. And then the other component of this is the whole UDL component, which is really important to us. Throughout KaiBot and all of our products, we are supporting UDL. But when we think about that, it's making it accessible and flexible for all of our learners. So that way that they can all engage and feel represented and express their understanding. So there are 3 components of UDL that are very important. So multiple means of engagement. And so with KaiBot, the students are going to get their hands-on experience, but it's also really fun. So that's going to keep them motivated. It's going to keep them engaged. Multiple means of representation. So concepts like algorithms and patterns can be represented in different forms. Maybe that's the cards or the robot, or it's something visual like a maze or an obstacle, or even something abstract, having students use symbols like the arrow cards to move their robots forward versus the numbered cards. But we really do try to meet students where they're at with all of our products. And then the last component, that multiple means of action and expression. So letting students show their computational thinking in various ways, whether that's laying out coding cards, narrating a story, drawing a path, physically demonstrating it. We actually have really big coding cards that as a teacher you can print out and then have your students act out those steps before using the robot. So when we go through everything, definitely keep in mind that that UDL approach is incorporated, as well as computational thinking, which I think you'll see as we go through this. These things just naturally happen when you're using KaiBots.
Yes, I think you're so right, Jen. I think that's one of the things that I love about KaiBot is it's so accessible for everyone. Like I've often said to the team here in New Zealand, man, I'd love to go back to school and learn maths this way, you know, like how fun to be able to do something so hands-on and to be kind of open up the doors for so many students to get involved, instead of those, you know, students that maybe find it hard to sit down and just write maths equations or something. You know, at least this is such a fun and engaging way for them to get involved and not have them sit in the corner sort of not wanting to do anything. So I think, yeah, I love KaiBot for that reason. I think it's just absolutely amazing that the things that we can have. Obviously, we've got Braille cards and things as well, which is awesome. So yeah, there's just so many things to get involved with KaiBot. It's great, and you'll be able to see more of how we can offer that through Market Math today as well. Oh, I'm so glad to hear, Rachel, that you love KaiBots and how accessible they are. So thank you. It's always great to hear how everyone's enjoying it and how they use it in their classrooms. So I think it's great. There's many opportunities with it, so it's great to see. Great. So obviously with our Market Math, just to give you, I'll just swap over my camera so you can see a little bit here. Cool. So you can see here our Market Math comes in a box like this. So it is, as I said at the beginning, it is a KaiBot add-on. So you will have to have KaiBots already, which is great. Most of you probably will. So that our little KaiBot is like this. Then inside is our mat. So these are all very similar to our blue tiles that all just kind of connect together. You can see where I was talking at the beginning, we've got our little friends around the outside of the mat. These are the people that our KaiBot and Marshie are going shopping for. So you've got a policeman, the gas station, a farmer, what's in that corner, a fireman, you've got the playground, our dog, you've got all sorts of fun things along the outside. Then obviously inside you can see all the different items that they might go shopping for. So you've got veggies, you've got dairy products, you've got bread, you've got fish, all your preservatives, etc., etc. Inside the box also comes this wonderful little story. So this is our Super Marshmallow and the Crunchy Grunchy Ginger Market Math Adventure. So this is what makes KaiBot extra fun, I think. So the idea with this is it has a whole little story inside here that you can read to your students. So you can read the whole story to them. It is a really fun story. Actually, I love this story. I think it's such a neat story. Or how you can do it is you can read a page at a time. So you could, for example, read this first page, which would then relate back to one of the lessons in our lesson portal. So I'm not sure if all of you will be familiar, but in our lesson portal, we've got all of our lessons available. You can search in there for our Market Math lessons, and it will give you a drop down for all of the lessons. But how it works, lesson 1 will relate back to page 1 of the story. Lesson 2 will relate back to page 2, etc. So that just gives you a bit of an idea of how the story looks. So obviously that's our engaging story to spark student interest, to get them started and get them involved on the story behind our little marshmallow and what he's doing. You've got the progression of levels. So as I said, from the lessons, you've got your lesson 1, and as they progress, they progressively get harder. This is where students will get a chance to practice any addition, subtraction, and obviously those problem-solving skills that are going to come into it as well, which is great. So it connects the literacy and the maths all in one activity, which is great. What I love also about these stories is you've got some, in the corner here, you've got some little added fun activities for them to do. So if you're reading this story, you can see here, can you find the hidden egg? So they can all, the students can have a look at the picture and see if they can find the hidden egg, which, let's see if I can find it actually.
Hey,
There
Nikki,
it is. Yeah.
it's too hard to share your screen as the big screen, the one just so they can see a little bit close-up view. There we go. Thank you.
There we go. Is that focused enough for everyone? Perfect.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
So this is the story, and as you can see in that corner there, you've got the fun little questions that you have throughout it as well. Each page will have a different little thing in there as well. How many milk bottles are there? So you can sort of count. The students can count how many milk bottles are in the crate, count the number of buttons on the little bear, etc. So there's lots of fun little activities. Additional activities as well. And it also opens up the door for that literacy and that conversation starters. Like you can look at these pictures and you can talk to them about, obviously this is a whole pile of soda cans, and you could have a conversation about what different sodas there are, how many cans there are, all the different brands of sodas that they can think of, what ones they like or dislike, and all those sorts of things as well. So it just opens up the doors to lots of conversations. Not only about maths, but about anything as well, which is great. Perfect. So I'll go back to the slide there.
Quick question, Nikki.
Yes.
And when students first program their bot for market math, what do you think the biggest surprise that they might have?
I think with market math and the KaiBot, what I love about it is that the robot itself only does exactly what you tell it to do. So if you tell it to only go 2 spaces forward, it will only go 2 spaces forward. If you forget a card or forget a coding sequence, it will come up with a little bug detector telling me, hang on, you've forgotten a number card or you've forgotten something, which is really great. It gives those students those opportunities to kind of learn by that trial and error, which I think is so important, especially for your early learners. I think that's how we all learn, is by making mistakes and by having a look at what we can do to fix those things, which is really great. So yes.
Yes, so they get to do coding and math problems all at one time.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes it fun, like you're not just focusing on the one thing, you're not just doing coding or you're not just doing maths, you're combining the two. And I think, KaiBot and a whole, with all the other lessons that you can do, it's again, you can have that cross-curricular where you're doing coding, but you're doing other activities at the same time, which is what makes it so fun. Perfect. So the perfect kind of tabletop for this that we find is you have your mat and you have 4 students per mat and 2 robots. And you can kind of work it in a couple of different ways. Obviously, we've got our screen-free version, and then we've got the app version as well. I will go over both of those versions with you today in the demo shortly. But just to give you a bit of a background, the screen-free with the coding cards, you can obviously do it throughout the lesson. So you could do one lesson relates back to the first page of the story, which also relates back to these activity cards. Sorry, the lights, hopefully. So these activity cards also come in the pack. So these are your screen-free activity cards. What I love about these is they're nice and glossy, as you can kind of see there. So you are able to actually write directly on them with a Vivid or a whiteboard marker or something, and then wipe it off, which is great. So the students can write directly on there, or obviously you can do a little workbook where they can write it in as well, whatever's easier. So these are the perfect way to do your screen-free. So you can almost do it, one of the ways that I quite enjoy doing it is it's almost like a bit of a board game. So you'd read the first page of the story, which would relate back to the first 2 activity cards. So if I think these are all, yes, they're in order. So they'd relate back to these two cards. So you'd have one group would have one card and one group would have the other. And then you'd complete the activities on the back and then swap them over. So it's quite a fun way of doing it. You can also do it obviously all through our lesson portal and things as well. Once you add your device, you can go through the levels that way as well. So you'd select level 1, complete level 1, and then progress as you get to, I think it's up to level 8 at the moment, or it could even be more. The team are working hard on creating more and more levels for you. Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions while I'm busy talking away here? Are those activity cards available in Braille? Not that I'm aware of yet, but that's a really great one to know, actually. I will definitely pass that on to the team, because that's a great point there. So I can definitely pass that on to the team. Thank you. Wonderful. So the lesson portal, yes, we have the lesson portal, which I'm sure Jen can put up in the chat for you as well. We've got our lesson portal that is our wonderful lesson portal that's got all of the options for the lessons for KaiBot, Kai's Clan, Market Math, Literacy, Kainundrum Light, etc. It's got all of your options there, which is great. So that will all be up there for you. Great. So in all of our lessons, it is the same as all of our KaiBot lessons. They have a clear standard alignment at the beginning. They have clear objectives, step-by-step instructions and vocabulary tips so that you can have those conversation starters with your students as you're going. Obviously, it lists all the materials and things that you'll need to complete it. It gives you examples of your coding tasks, obviously the maths examples and activity that you'll need to do. Also gives you lots of those mini activities and those opportunities for that social and emotional learning throughout the observation of the cards and of what's happening on the mat as well. So it gives that opportunity for discussion. It also gives the opportunity, like how we were mentioning before, that if they go wrong, they can go back and figure it out together. And I think that's the beauty of working in pairs like that, is you can have one that's kind of tapping away doing your coding and the other one that's sort of having a look at the math and saying, oh no, we've overshot it, we've gone, an extra step, we need to go back one, all those sorts of things. So it gives lots of that opportunity for conversations and for that reflection for both the students and the teachers as well, to see where they're at. Wonderful. Perfect.
Yeah, and quick note. So I did put in the chat the lesson plans that are specific to Market Math. So those lesson plans are there. But we also have a whole slew of lesson plans that are standard aligned for KaiBots in general. So that second link will take you to our lesson plan portal to check out all of the lesson plans. And if you want to focus on just math, you can type in math in action, and that will actually pull up all of our new math lesson plans for KaiBot. So those are specifically K through 5. There's 3 lesson plans for each grade, and they're a great way to kind of tag on KaiBots to, teaching addition, subtraction, division, things that you're probably already doing. So we are all about math and robots over here.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's great. It's like I said before, man, I would love to go back to school and do all these lessons. I think it would be so fun. Much more exciting than what I used to learn at school. So it's awesome to have these resources and things available for children, especially our early learners. I think getting them engaged and hooked in these sorts of subjects right from the beginning is so important. So I think it's great to have these sorts of things for them. Wonderful. Perfect. So let's get started. Enough talking. Let's see what's happening. So like I said, what I will do is kind of go through the full screen free with our activity cards first, and then we'll hop on to our Market Math app. So our Market Math app is available on iPad and Chromebooks for you to easily download. It's all obviously a free app and things as well. So that's nice and easy for you. Now I will get rid of this. And let's show you what we've got down here. Wonderful. So just make myself.
So I noticed your KaiBot is dressed like a little car. Is that part of the Market Math?
Yes, so these are all easily downloaded. We've got this one, and I think we've got one that's a little Marshie actually, which is really cute as well. So I'm sure, I think Judy is in the chat, so she might be able to put them out because that's all her beautiful handiwork. So yes, it's just another way of making it a bit fun and exciting for the students. So you can see we've got our wonderful mat here, we've got our KaiBot, we've got all of our cards, and we've got our activity cards. So these are all your activity cards that all come in the pack. So if we have a look at our first page of the story, it's all talking about our first two activity cards. So our first two activity cards in the pack is vegetables and preserved foods. So if I was doing this as a teacher or with my students, how I do it is you have your four students, 2 robots on the mat. So you'd have one group that would have your vegetables card, and you'd have one group that have your preserved food card. So the first group would have to have a look. Okay, first of all, we've got vegetables. We need to find where vegetables is on the mat. So we think, here it is here. So our first part of the activity, and I mean, to be honest, you could do it either way. You could do the maths bit first, or you could do the coding bit first. I don't think it really matters. So same as all of our coding with KaiBot, we always need to start with our record program start and end, and our run program. So if I put them down here, I'm just going to tilt this down so you can kind of see a little bit here as well. Move that out of the way. Okay. So we can see that obviously we've got the bracket, so something needs to go in the middle here. So we think you can have your students almost walk it out. So you can see that there's obviously all the squares on there. So each square is a movement. So you think, okay, we need to move 2 spots forward. So I think, okay, I need to go forward, and I need to go forward again, and then I need to turn. So I need to turn, do I need to turn left or right? And you think, okay, I need to turn left. And obviously our turn is just a turn, it's not a movement. So we need to move forward 1 after that. Great, so you can see all that. So that's an example of how our code would look. So once they think that they've got the code right, they can tap away with our little KaiBot. And then he goes. Perfect. Yay, and he got to a spot. Now you can see here, obviously I've gone forward. You could just do forward 2. That obviously this little green asterisk in the corner here relates back to our green number cards. So instead of doing forward twice, you could put forward and then that's number 3, but you get the number 2 and put that there as well. So you've got those options for them too. Perfect. So once they get to their destination, it would be as simple as them flipping over their card and having a look at the maths equations that they would have on the back. As I mentioned before, you could either get them to write directly on here and then wipe it off, as it is that nice shiny material, or you could write it on a piece of paper, or however the students best want to do it. Once they've completed all of those equations, they could obviously flip it over and then swap it with their other group on the table. So then it would be a matter of them driving to the preserved foods, which is down here. So then they would need to code their robot to get to the preserved foods. So they'd need to go 1, 2, turn, and then back into it there. And then again, they would flip it over and complete those. Once they've done that, they can go to the checkout there and swap over and do some new cards, read the next page and do the new cards, or however quickly they move forward for it.
Yeah, and I love that too, because when we go back to that computational thinking and thinking like a computer scientist, right? There are multiple ways to get to one spot, right? So they can go different directions, or they can use different number cards. And I think too, with the young learners, like the left and right cards can be challenging, right? So helping them learn directions and that kind of trial by error, which is really great too.
Definitely. Yeah, and you're so right. Obviously, we could go this way down, but we could also go this way down. So there's so many different ways in which you can do it. And I know you mentioned earlier about how we've got the option of printing these coding cards in large A4 size, which is actually one of the fun activities I heard from one of our New Zealand teachers actually. He said what he did for his early learners is he printed them in the big A4 size and had them actually out in the playground. And it actually helped the students kind of learning those lefts and rights. Because as you said, for, your 5 and 6 year olds and things, it's still a learning curve to know what way is left and right. So having those all printed out and laminated, you can put them around the playground or outside or in the classroom, and it helps them to almost do like a version of hopscotch of learning your directions and your forwards and backwards and things as well, just to get them used to that coding, which is great. So that kind of gives you a bit of an example of how it looks in your screen-free option. What I also love is obviously you've got your images on the top here. And again, that's like a conversation starter. You can talk about what they can see on there, what, it looks like there's strawberry jam. I think that's like an apricot jam. It gives those conversation starters for the students to have a look at what's on here and have discussions about it. Even simple things like, oh, I don't like strawberry jam or whatever. It just gives those opportunities for learning, which is what it's all about with those early learners for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking, I had talked to a teacher once who said their students had no idea where milk comes from, right? Like it just comes from the grocery store. So even starting those kind of conversations, like where do the vegetables come from? Where does the milk come from before it gets to the grocery store?
Exactly. And yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's all about those sorts of little learning in between the big learning. So does anyone have any other questions of how the screen-free option works?
Oh, Nikki, I was thinking another thing we had chatted about before with the screen-free option. We have these cards, but as a teacher, you could feel free to create your own cards with math problems or subtraction, addition, whatever you're doing in the classroom too.
Yeah, definitely. Like this gives you a good example of what they look like, but there's no reason why you can't do one that says vegetables and then you can make your own subtraction, whatever you're sort of focusing on with your lessons and your students on that day. So yeah, you could definitely tailor make it. There's no reason why you couldn't do that at all, and add some extra levels in your screen-free option like that. You can see in the cards here, they relate back to your numbers here on the side here, and you've also got your star sequence down the bottom. That gives you a bit of an indication as well. But as you go through, your sort of number one card is progressively gets harder as you go to your last card as well. Wonderful. Perfect. So that's one way of doing your screen-free option for us today. So what I will do now is I will bring across, I'll just get rid of this, and I will bring across our device. So in here we've got our iPad. So what I will do, sorry, hopefully you guys can you see all of that okay? Now, what I will do, which is one of my favorite parts of Market Math, and it's definitely one of my son's favorite parts of Market Math, is the fun little karaoke song. So when you enter into the into the app, you can see this is how it looks. Over here, you've got our karaoke song. So this is, again, just part of that fun, engaging side of things for students.
And everyone is either going to hate us or love us.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the whole song because it is a little bit longer, but this just gives you an idea of the little song that it goes through.
And yes, it does get stuck in your head.
Yes, I apologize. You will be thinking of this song as you're lying in bed later tonight.
Beep, beep, beep.
It definitely gets stuck in all of our heads. So, but that just kind of gives you a bit of an idea of how you can have a look at the sun and helps just get that engagement and excitement for it. But we'll stop that there. Yeah. Cool. So that gives you all the options here. So then if we, obviously you've got all your settings and things here for your sound effects.
Oh, there. Okay. We got blurry for a second, but we're back.
So you've got all your sound effects, your music, and all the options and things there. if we go, it's similar to those who have used Conundrum Lite and things. It comes up with obviously wanting to pair and connect your KaiBot. So if you've got multiple KaiBots in the lesson, the students will just have to make sure that it's correct with their KaiBot that they've got. So they just need to select it. The numbers just are on here. So then you can kind of see all the different levels that we're talking about here. So you've got your policemen, etc., and they kind of, and you can see here, they unlock as they go. So they need to start at number 1 and work their way through all the different lessons and things here. So we'll go back to the beginning here. So if we just go into the first one, because why not?
Place KaiBot on the map.
So if I move this out the way here, hopefully you can see he's driving around the outside of the mat.
Hello, I'm going shopping. Would you like anything from the grocery store?
I would like some soap and some eggs.
No problem. I'll get you some.
Can everyone hear that okay?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Perfect. Sorry, it's kind of hard to show the two at once, but you kind of get a little bit of an idea of it.
Let's go shopping.
Perfect. So you can see he visited as a little policeman at the start of it and found out that he wanted some eggs and some soda, I think it was. Then he comes to our starting point, and in the shop he goes.
Welcome to Market Map. Your KaiBot will start here. We need to pick up some eggs from here.
Perfect. So we need to go collect our eggs first.
We need to tell it what to do.
Perfect.
Scan the sequence of cards.
So you can see we need to go to the eggs, which you can kind of see a little bit there. So that's straight down and over here. So if I get my coding cards out and I think, okay, yep, I can do this. So if I think we need to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put our number 4 here. And away we go. And as you go, you can see I could tap on easily, just repeat tapping onto the number 4 times.
Place KaiBot.
Oh, what happened here? Sorry, we'll tap him again.
Scan the sequence of cards. KaiBot disconnected.
Oh,
Oh, oops.
one moment. There we go.
And Nikki, while you're scanning them, we have a request to show what happens when you scan the wrong order.
Ah, yes, sure. So you can see there, it comes up and it says wrong card. So you can see it helps with that bug detection there.
Yeah, can see that little bug alert.
Yeah, so it lets you know what you've done wrong, and then it's a matter of going back and starting again. So
Yeah, and it's got the little the microphone there. So does it read it aloud too for the younger cards or younger students if you want to?
yes, yeah, we can definitely do that. So yeah, we can definitely do that. It does have that option of making it. Oops,
There he goes.
there he goes. Making it read aloud for those early learners, because obviously not all of them will necessarily be able to read yet.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect. And now comes our maths questions.
How many egg cards are there?
And what I love about this here is, again, if you tap If you put the wrong one, it tells you, and you just go try again. If you tap on it, I don't know if you can hear that. If I tap on it, it tells you what number it is.
Oh, that's great.
Because again, some of those early learners might not be able to fully recognize what the number is. So if they just hold on it, they can see.
There are 3 egg cartons.
And as you saw, if you do get it wrong, it just tells you to try again. So it gives you those options, which is great. And again, it counts them back so that it really reinforces those numbers and things for the students. So next, I'm going to try and move that just over here. Next, we need to come over here and go to the soda. So we need to go forward 1, 2, and then we need to turn. So.
Scan these cards.
And it shows you exactly where to put it back on the mat. So you want to put it back to where it was.
Oh, that's good. I was going to ask that because I couldn't remember if it did or not. So just in case the kids forget where they last were, which
exactly, which is always great. Perfect. Does anyone have any questions so far on that?
Oops. KaiBot disconnected.
One moment. Does anyone have any questions of how the app works or anything? No. Yes, it's got so many awesome features.
Oh, that's a good idea to have markers too, especially with the little ones.
Yeah, I think it's so important having those options with those little ones. Sorry, my internet for some reason keeps tapping out.
Place KaiBot here.
Sorry, team. Technical difficulties on my end.
That's all right. I feel like we got a pretty good sense of how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So if I go back through here. Sorry, I'll just reconnect
Place
them here.
KaiBot on the mat.
So is anyone, yes, it's great for teaching problem solving. I think that's one of my favorite features about KaiBot is the fact that it's got that bug alert. And what I love about it is it sort of comes up either on the app or on the robot itself saying bug alert, missing number card, or whatever it is that they might be missing. Which is great. So it gives them an opportunity to go back, figure out where they're missing that item or that number card or whatever it is that they're missing in their sequence and start again, which is great. Perfect. Okay, now let's try that again. We'll go.
Yeah, good point, Ben, because you never know in a classroom, right? I know a lot of you are in buildings with like big cement walls, the internet goes down, all sorts of things. So just being able to troubleshoot through those.
Perfect. Perfect. So we're going to collect some carrots.
Yeah, Mitzi, I think you could have, with the app though, so screen free, you can have 2 students, but when you're using, I guess if you had 2 iPads and 2 different robots, you'd be okay. They would just need to be working on 2 different iPads because the app only allows you to have one connected at a time.
Correct, yeah. So then here comes our maths question again here, where we can see how many carrots. So it's as simple as just doing your drag and drop.
There are 3.
Obviously, this is level 1, so as you progress, it's going to progressively get harder.
2, 3.
Perfect. Then we need to go find our fish. You can see here how it's collecting coins. So you can see in the corner there, you've got all the coins that you're collecting as well, which gives you the option at the end to go shopping for our little marshmallow. You can see at the moment he's got a road cone on his head, but you could go shopping for lots of different hats. He could get a different color car and things. So you can kind of have those fun options as well. Perfect. So we're going to go for our fish now. Perfect. And again, there's your...
Are there 2? Good job. There are 2 fish.
So I love that it repeats back, there are 2 fish, because it just really cements that learning in for the students for your maths equations. So you can see he's now collected his items, so he needs to go to the checkout. Perfect. So our checkout is obviously down in the corner here. So as we were saying before, there's lots of different ways you could go, but I'm going to go forward 1, 2, and then I'm going to turn right, and then I'm going to go forward. Perfect.
Yeah, and you drove through the soda spill on aisle 2.
Yeah, I did. Cool. So then this comes to the final part. So they check out their items.
How many items are you buying? 3 plus 2 equals what?
And again, if you tap on them, it tells you the numbers.
5. Good job. 3 plus 2 equals 5.
You're all set. Thanks for visiting Market Math and have an amazing day.
Then he's going to go back and deliver it to his friend on the mat. I'm just going to move this slightly so it doesn't get in the way. So you can see he's driving back to his friend where he's delivering his item. So it was carrots. So this is all done automatically. The KaiBot will just know where he needs to drive back to deliver his friend his products.
Here's your carrots and fish.
Thank you.
And again, it comes with your little certificate at the end as well. You can see, obviously, you've got different scores. So your scores is related to the path, so your coding, as well as the answer. So how you've sort of answered everything correctly and that you've finished the level itself. So you can see here, obviously, I got one of the questions wrong. So it's going to have sort of a slightly lower point there as well. So that's always a really fun way. Students always love a little certificate at the end as well, don't they? So it's quite cool having that option as well. Wonderful. What does everyone think? What do you think of it all? I think I love it that it's such a hands-on and fun, exciting way for students to learn maths and coding together as one. Oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. Yes, perfect. So I'll just go back to my slides here and see if there's anything that I've forgotten to mention. Perfect. So obviously it just shows you a little bit of what they all learn there. So what skills and things that the students will be developing is obviously your numeracy and maths in real world grocery store setting. So it gives them an idea of what it's actually going to be like if they were to go to a grocery store and collect items for whatever it is that they need. Obviously gives you those counting and sequence problem solving for them. As I said, and as me and Jen said earlier, obviously you've got all your different equations and things there, but there is no reason why if you're doing a screen free that you couldn't do your own ones, depending if you're focusing on subtraction or a particular number sequence and things as well, which is great. Obviously you've got your screen free coding, which builds that logic and pattern recognition, and it also helps to support them with that learning through trial and error with those bug alerts and things as well. So wonderful. And how do you think that it could work in sort of a classroom setting, Jen? How can you imagine this is kind of going to fit into a teacher's classroom?
Yeah, one of the things that I like about the Market Math is that the lesson plans are structured and they're aligned to math standards, and they provide a clear sequence for the students. So it should be fairly easy for a teacher to just kind of pick up and go. And even if they've never done coding, right? Like, it's fun and it's gamified. So that makes it easy, and they get to practice that real life math, right? Like adding and subtraction and picking out things at the grocery store. But I also think I could see it being used too in the libraries, like in a maker space, because it's so simple to just take out and bring out with the kids for a quick activity. And I know some librarians are looking for ways to connect with teachers. And so, if you're learning about addition in the classroom, like having the kids come in and get to do addition in the library in like a fun gamified way, I think would be really good and kind of help reinforce that learning that they're having in the classroom too. And then, we have the math mat here, but literacy especially is also a great fit for those kind of maker spaces and libraries too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I said at the beginning, and as Jen just mentioned now, yes, we do definitely have obviously Market Math, which we have showed you today, but we have got Literacy Kitchen, which is obviously very similar sort of idea, different mat, and obviously more literacy-based questions, but another great option for your K-2 learners. I think it's a fun and engaging way for students and teachers to be able to take them to the classroom or the libraries, as you mentioned. I think it's a great idea for libraries to even have a look at them as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I love Ben's idea for the Fun Fridays too. Bribing our kids to get their work done, right?
I love it. That's so cool.
Bribing, encouraging,
Yeah, exactly. They go hand in hand. It's perfect. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Has anyone got any final questions or anything for us before we leave you all to it? Obviously, if you do want to have a full demo or want any more information, you can feel free to email us or email Jen, obviously direct, or just emails at sales as well. And we can always help and set you up with a training session and tell you any more information that you might need. Wonderful. All right.
We do have one question. Is there a way to skip levels for students who share iPads?
No, we don't at this stage have that option yet. Obviously, our team have been working on all the different features and things and how we can adapt it in that. So that is something that they're sort of looking through to. But at the moment, when you're on the app, you have to kind of progress through the levels as they go. So as you complete a level, you unlock the next. But they are looking at kind of adapting it so that you can do it for per students. So you can kind of change the levels depending on the abilities, because obviously you're going to have lots of different abilities in your classroom. So
we should have something soon with that. I think I know the team's working on it to be able to your second grade do something that's a little bit more challenging. So it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. So we'll definitely let you know once we do have more options available. But multiple. Yes. Awesome. So much. Yes, I know it has got so much potential. So I'm glad you all enjoyed it today, and hopefully it just gives you a little bit of a taster on what we have here at Kai's Education and with our new Market Math and KaiBot. I hope you all enjoyed it today. Thank you, Jen, for joining me and getting a chance to hear a little bit more on what you think of it all and how it works with the teachers and things that you've spoken to. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for all of your enthusiasm in the chat.
Yes. I love it. It's so good. And there's nothing better than hearing from teachers and librarians and people that are on the floor using these products with their students. So I always love it when we get feedback of students loving it and teachers enjoying using them in the classroom. It's great. There's no better feeling. So thank you all. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again next time. If you have any ideas or anything else that you would love to see on our webinars, do feel free to let us know as well, because it's always great to see what you would like to see. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Jen. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.